In the peaceful village of Suryanagar lived a young man named Rohan. Unlike others in the village who were satisfied with farming and family life, Rohan had a restless heart. He wanted to see distant mountains, cross rivers, explore forests, and visit every corner of the land. The world felt too big to stay in one place. Whenever he saved a little money, he would pack his bag and leave, returning only when his curiosity was satisfied. One night, while sleeping in his small mud house, Rohan heard a familiar voice calling him. He opened his eyes and saw his grandmother, Savitri, standing beside his bed. She had passed away years ago, yet she looked exactly the same, calm and loving, but serious. "Rohan," she said gently, "I know you love traveling. Go wherever you wish, but promise me one thing. Never enter a village called Nidalok. No matter what happens, do not step into that place. Remember this carefully." Before he could ask anything, she disappeared. Rohan suddenly woke up. The room was dark. His grandmother's framed photo hung on the wall. He rubbed his eyes. "Just a dream," he whispered. "But what kind of warning was that? I've never even heard of Nidalok." Instead of forgetting it, the name Nidalok stayed in his mind. Why would his grandmother warn him about a place he didn't even know? Curiosity slowly replaced fear. The more he thought about it, the more determined he became to find that mysterious village. Over the next few weeks, Rohan asked travelers, merchants, and elders about Nidalok. Most people shook their heads. Some laughed. An old man named Girdar chuckled, "If such a village exists, take me with you when you find it." But Rohan's determination only grew stronger. One evening, while returning from a long journey through a hilly region, a violent storm struck. Rain poured heavily and strong winds forced him off the main path. Searching for shelter, he hid inside a cave. When the rain finally stopped, he came out and noticed a narrow trail he had never seen before. Curious as always, he followed it. After walking for some time, he reached the entrance of a strange village. A wooden board stood there with faded letters that read, "Welcome to Nidalok." His heart raced. It was real. A man standing near the entrance looked at him carefully. "You seem lost," the man said calmly. "You may enter if you wish, but nothing here will seem ordinary." Rohan smiled confidently. "I've traveled everywhere. Nothing surprises me anymore." He stepped inside. At first glance, everything looked normal. People were walking, children playing, vendors selling fruits. Rohan felt hungry and approached a fruit cart filled with fresh apples. The vendor, a smiling woman named Kamla, said, "Eat as many as you like. We'll settle the payment later." Hungry, Rohan ate several apples. Satisfied, he thanked her and walked away. After a few steps, he suddenly realized he hadn't paid. Embarrassed, he returned. "I'm sorry, I forgot to pay you." Kamla laughed softly. "The payment has already been taken." Confused, Rohan checked his pocket. A few coins were missing. "But I didn't give you anything." "In Nidalok," she replied mysteriously, "balance is never ignored." Feeling uneasy, he continued walking. Soon he saw a man carrying what looked like a human leg on his shoulder. Shocked, Rohan stared. The man introduced himself as Harish. "Don't worry," he said calmly. "This is my cousin's leg. He injured it while climbing a hill. I'm taking it to the healer." "Why not take your cousin?" Harish raised his eyebrow. "Here we repair what is broken directly." Rohan silently thought, "These people must be mad." Instantly, Harish looked at him. "In this village, thoughts are heard clearly. Speak openly." Rohan froze. Could they really hear his thoughts? That evening, Harish offered him a place to stay. At dinner, he met Harish's sister Leela, who spoke gently but watched him closely. "Outsiders often think we are strange, but sometimes what seems strange holds deeper meaning." The next morning, Rohan decided to meet the village healer known as Vaidyanath. The healer's house was filled with herbs, jars, and unusual instruments. As Rohan entered, he gasped. On a wooden table rested a human head, blinking calmly. Before he could scream, a body rose from a nearby bed, walked to the table, picked up the head, and placed it back on its neck. It was Vaidyanath.
My head was aching, the healer said casually, so I removed it to rest. Rohan trembled. This place defies all logic. Vaidyanath looked at him deeply. Your grandmother warned you not to come. Rohan's heart pounded. How do you know that? Nida Lok reflects the mind of the visitor, the healer replied. You came here out of pride and curiosity. You wished to challenge a warning instead of respecting it. Rohan lowered his head. Then tell me my future. The healer's voice became serious. If you keep wandering without purpose and ignore wise advice, you will gain stories but lose stability. When you truly need support, you may find yourself alone. But if you choose responsibility and humility, your life will be meaningful and peaceful. Suddenly, everything around him began to blur. The healer's voice echoed, this village exists where ego meets illusion. Rohan woke up suddenly. He was in his own bed in Suryanagar. Morning sunlight filled the room. His grandmother's photo hung peacefully on the wall. He sat up, confused and sweating. Was it all just a dream? It had felt so real. He folded his hands before his grandmother's photograph. I'm sorry, he whispered. I understand now. From that day onward, Rohan still respected the beauty of the world, but he first built something meaningful in his own village. He worked sincerely, listened carefully to elders, and spoke thoughtfully. Over time, he realized that true growth comes not only from exploring distant lands, but from understanding responsibility and respecting guidance. The moral of the story is that curiosity is good, but pride can mislead us. Elders' advice may seem restrictive, but it often comes from love and experience. Respecting wisdom brings stability and peace, while ignoring it can lead us into confusion and regret.